that little rat. Ego big, little legs. Skinny kid with plenty.
What just happened? Porzingis going to the Celtics. It gets done and a lot of stuff happened, man. A lot of stuff. Like, it was originally going to be a 3-man trade with the with the Clippers, but then that fell through. And I was just like, bro, what are the Wizards doing? Like, let's be honest. This was what we first heard today. At about 1 p.m., Celtics, Wizards, Clippers are closing in on a trade, sending Porzingis to Boston, Brogdon to LA. Washington is just having the biggest fire sale of NBA history. Like, they were only getting Marcus Morris in return, which is a horrible return. And then we got the news that the three-team trade with all of these teams, it just fell apart. And supposedly it's because the Clippers did not want Malcolm Brogdon because of that injury on his shooting arm. I'm not sure. I don't really know too much about it, but that's why they didn't want it. So the Clippers are the reason that, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't do this. But in my opinion, this was the best thing that could happen for the Wizards because they got saved. Like, Marcus Morris is not a good enough return. For some reason, the Wizards really value that 30th pick that the Clippers were going to give them. Like, they really wanted that 30th pick for some reason. Like, it's the last pick in the first round. Like, I don't know what. They're just trying to get anything out of this deal. Like, a lot of Wizards fans are saying, like, it's a year too late. I don't know why they decided to tank, blow it up, rebuild the year after Vic is in the draft. Everybody thought they should have done it at the beginning of this season, even during the season, during the trade block, or the trade deadline, because their direction just didn't look good. But the Wizards front office thought and said originally last season, if you heard back, they said, we believe in this team and we're not going to break it up. We think that we could win it all and we're not going to tank. Pretty much the polarity that the new NBA brings with the play-in tournament. And Washington kept fighting, but it wasn't enough. And then the 3-team deal happens with the Wizards and the Grizzlies. Tyus Jones, one of the best backup point guards in the NBA, one of the most underrated players in the NBA, is now going to the Wizards, which is way better than Marcus Morris in that 30th pick. Trust me, Tyus Jones is a steal. Not a steal, but he's a very good player for the Wizards, and it's the best return they've gotten all offseason. And it came from Porzingis. And then we got the crazy news at about 9 p.m. that Boston is trading Marcus Smart, no longer Brogdon, Marcus Smart to Memphis. Memphis really wanted Marcus Smart. And it makes sense. Dylan Brooks leaving the team. They need that vet on the team. They've been saying it. We need a vet. So they trade for Marcus Smart. But they're also sending 2 first-round picks to the Celtics, which is crazy. One of them is the 25th pick in the draft this season tomorrow. So Celtics get 2 first rounds and Porzingis. A lot of people freaking out. Like, why is Memphis giving up so many picks? But I'm going to explain what I think happened. Just 14 hours ago, the Celtics posted, I go out there and leave everything on the floor. Nobody hustles harder than Marcus Smart. I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments, Celtic forever. That is tough. But Memphis, like, this is what I think happened. The Celtics were so damn desperate to land this Porzingis trade. They didn't want to be like that old Chris Paul trade to the Lakers that fell through back when Kobe was playing. They wanted this trade to go through. Like, it basically was already through. And I guess teams really didn't want Malcolm Brogdon because for some reason everybody's really worried about that injury to that shooting arm. So I think they really did get desperate to the point like, bro, we got to find another team that wants to trade with us. And we'll pretty much do anything. Like, we need this Porzingis trade to go through. Grizzlies, hey man, this is a chance to get that player we've been looking for. It's tough. We got to give up Tyus Jones. That's really tough because he's going to be the point guard with Jaw out the first 25 games to the suspension. So they went out and got another point guard, Marcus Smart. The Celtics are like, oh man, you can't take Marcus Smart. Like, that's the heart and soul of our team. You can't take Marcus Smart from us. He does everything for the Celtics. That man is literally a Celtic for life. That's what everybody thinks and feels. But they really want that Porzingis trade to go through. So they're like, damn, we're going to need a lot in return for Marcus Smart because like he's one of our favorite players. And the Grizzlies are like, you know what? We're tired of all these young players on our team. This is the only logic I could think of. We're tired of our young team. We need some vets. We know that's what we were lacking in the playoffs. That's why we lost. Dylan Brooks literally sold us the series. We got to get rid of him. Now we're losing a tough, grimy player. We need a veteran to step in and help Ja Morant with whatever he's going through. A point guard that can help lead him. Been in the league for a while. We need that hard-nosed replacement for Dylan Brooks. And Marcus Smart is literally probably the best player in the entire NBA for that. And they would do anything to get that. We don't need any more young players. Let's give them some draft picks. But 2 draft picks is crazy. To me, is crazy. 2 draft picks for Marcus Smart is crazy when Bradley Beal didn't even get a first-round pick. And it just goes to show that the damn Wizards just trading Look, Wizards traded both of their players and got 0 first. It's crazy. Like, I understand Porzingis. He was going to opt into his deal. He was going to play another year with the Wizards. They didn't really have to sell right now, but I think the reason they did it is because, listen, we're just going to commit to the rebuild. We don't want to risk any injury with Porzingis because he's had that injury history, before, during the season, and wait till the trade deadline. Let's do it now before the draft. This is like the best time to trade because picks could be involved. But now the Wizards got so many damn point guards. They're going to have to do something. Like Chris Paul, Tyus Jones, don't forget about Monte Morris. I'm pretty sure they have DeLon Wright. So they got a lot of guards at that position that they got to do something about. The Celtics, let's talk about whether they win or lose this trade. A lot of people talking about this because, oh yeah, also Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala go to the Wizards. So it is tough for Gallinari because he was just hyped about the damn comeback and everything. He's a very good player when he was healthy. I don't know now about after this huge injury, but he said, all this news came out that he's like, man, I was a Celtics fan growing up. Marcus Smart literally getting compliments from the Celtics. They trade both of them. Do anything for Porzingis. They were so damn desperate for Porzingis, so let's talk about it. Oh yeah, also in the middle of all this, Chris Middleton declined $40 million, even though he didn't really play a lot this season. I could say it's low-key a down year for him. He turned down $40 million option to become a free agent. So I'm thinking that he don't want to play for the Bucks. So start up those free agent talks. But is the Porzingis trade good for the Celtics? Like, on paper, why would you not do it? 24 points a game, Porzingis coming off his best season. Low-key, the Celtics had overload of guards in the playoffs. Sometimes it felt like somebody's getting played out the rotation when they shouldn't have, like between Derek White, Brogdon, and Smart. And Peyton Pritchard especially, because he probably could be getting minutes. He wanted to trade, so maybe now it's his chance to get some more minutes. But trading Marcus Smart is very tough, and it's going to hurt the Celtics a lot just because he's literally the heart and soul of the Celtics. It's so hard to trade him if you're a Celtics fan or in the front office. But it's almost impossible to pass up 2 first-round picks for him and Porzingis. Like, who doesn't accept that? So, did they get fleeced like everybody's talking about? No. Like, they took a great deal. Now, is it going to work out? Is it going to lead to a championship? Maybe. In my opinion, I don't think it's that bad of a trade for the Celtics. And I'm a Lakers fan. I don't even like the Celtics. They had overloaded guards. It's tough that they did get rid of Marcus Smart, but we seen Derek White towards the end of the playoffs. Like, he's played really good. Brogdon had some flashes too. Marcus Smart sometimes doesn't do the smartest things for the Celtics. You got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown filling out the wings. They kind of lack some size. Like, Al Horford is just that spot up corner 3 shooter, and then they relied on Robert Williams to get some rebounds, but he's low-key undersized big, so now they get a very tall big. And I feel like they were kind of lacking a backup big, so maybe this sends Robert Williams to the bench, which is crazy because he's a very good center. I think this really does improve the Celtics roster and their chances to win it all. Like, a lot of people talking about Porzingis' injury history, but he was one of the best players, in my opinion, to try to trade for right now, like value-wise. I understand it might be recent bias because he had a great season, but I live in the now, and he deserves a huge contract. Now, that being said, I don't even know if they're going to be able to re-sign him the year after because they're going to have to extend Jaylen Brown. They're probably not going to have enough money. They're probably going to lose Derek White next season too, after the upcoming one. So the future, they're dead-ass risking their future. They did get some first-round picks, but they're risking their future to try to win now. Is it going to work? Maybe. Honestly, this might be what the Celtics need to win the championship. And the Grizzlies get their player. They get Marcus Smart. this is their chance. This is what they wanted. They wanted a vet. They wanted that replacement for Dillon Brooks, who's going to go out there and actually do what he says he's going to do, not try to run, that grit and grind. In my opinion, Dillon Brooks is literally the Walmart Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is 10 times better. And the Wizards end up getting Tyus Jones, Gallinari, and Muscala. So they get two players who can stretch the floor, just like Porzingis. They're definitely not as good as Porzingis, but they kind of get, two players that could kind of do the same thing he did. And then you get Tyus Jones, who's a very good point guard. Like, let's not forget Tyus Jones is involved in this trade. He's a very good point guard. Like, I'm pretty sure he's led the league for a couple years now, and the best turnover to assist ratio in the league. He's one of the most efficient guards in the league. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to play smart. But you also have Chris Paul. So I think the next news is Chris Paul is going to be traded. A lot of people talking to the Clippers because for some reason Washington really wants that 30 overall pick from the Clippers. They want that first round pick. They did get a second round in the trade with the Celtics. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's pick number 35. But I think they really want that 30th pick. I could see them trading Chris Paul to the Clippers, maybe for Marcus Morris, because they already talked about him. It's tough already talking about it and keeping the player. So maybe the bridges are burned with Marcus Smart. I don't know. But yeah, this is my take on it. Nobody, I think, lost the trade. I think it's a good trade for every single team. Except, I'm not going to lie, the Wizards kind of just giving players away. Like, they could get a lot more. If Marcus Smart is going for 2 first-round picks, I guarantee the Celtics would have been desperate and gave some first-round picks to the Wizards. Like, both of those first-round picks should be going to the Wizards, but it went through. Wizards literally just throwing everything in the trash can and hoping that, in a couple years it'd be good. Their direction is going to be horrible. Kyle Kuzma is going to leave probably. So, yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on this trade? It's crazy. It's the first trade before the draft. As you guys can see, I'm sunburnt. I literally just got done hooping. I've been playing since 12 p.m. It's about 10 p.m. right now. I got to wake up super early. So we're going to wrap this video up. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the Porzingis trade. Do you think the Celtics are going to be better? Do you think they could win a championship from this? Also, how you feel about the Grizzlies? Do you think they gave up too much, draft picks for Marcus Smart? Or do you think, it's worth it because, you needed that vet? No more young players. Let's get some older players with some experience and get a real Dillon Brooks up in here. And then how you guys feel about the Wizards fire sale going on? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is ZTAY. Peace.